Good afternoon, welcome to Ghostborn Gaming, and I am on the path to Slaanesh at the moment. Had a stream yesterday where I had just like loads of technical problems. The weather was a bit rough, and I'm out in the sticks enough that it matters. So I kept on disconnecting, had some mic problems, all fixed, and I've spent like most of the morning really like giving a deep clean and fixing my Sotar 2020, which is like my detail airbrush, and so we're just gonna jump in today to carry on the prep work. I'll probably like go over essentially what I was talking about yesterday. I'll delete the streams because they were a mess. We're just into the second week of my 60 days to Slaanesh. This is a challenge for me, which is essentially building, painting, converting some stuff, converting, buying a bunch of Slaanesh. So the idea is to get a full army ready for December. There's a cool event in Firestorm Games in Cardiff. If I can go to, I will. But there's a bunch of other events as well popping up a bit closer. I think it's like a GT or something in Leicester, and then there's Carnage is doing doubles. There's plenty of locals around that probably want to go to them. So yes, I'm going to power through. That's the plan. I've selected what I'm doing for basing. I'm definitely going to do sand. I've been looking at some really nice stuff, so I'm going to have to get some materials ordered in for that. But that's okay. And I'll probably just do like a bulk base making. But for now, we're doing bulk prepping, right? So so what I've done so far is I've built a load of stuff. Some of it is in some assemblies just because like a lot of the newer mortals of Slaanesh stuff are just really detailed, like lovely detail on them. And I'm like, well, I don't want to waste them basically by sort of making it harder for me to do. So I've primed everything last night that I've got built so far. So far we've got I'll look at it in fact before I get the airbrush out properly. So far we have ready to go is I'll do this first I think when we get painting in a minute. Is the Contorted Epitome. It's the Slaanesh demon 2-cast wizard. It's super cool. I think aesthetically, so I love the idea of this crazy writhing massive tendrils dragging this mirror. I'm not even sure if the demonettes heralds are they the ones casting the spells, or is it coming from like the mirror? I'm not actually sure. Should probably read the scroll. It'll probably be on the scroll and say something. So we got those guys. We have this. Everything's on cork. I don't have a drinking problem. Let's cover this briefly yesterday. I do have a friend that works in a wine shop. So basically gave me like a big carrier bag full of change where the light is, but basically just give me a load of corks for doing this and for making basing. So we've got the Lord of Pain. So I've got the set army. If you haven't seen what I'm doing, I'll quickly go over it in case it's interesting to people. It's Glutos, Sigvald, Lord of Pain, Contorted Epitome, 10 Painbringers, 5 in 1 unit, Blissbarb Archers, 5 Twin Souls, and Iron Golems. For a bit more tanky, sort of like just sit on an objective, and then the Burning Head, Flaming Head, whatever spell that is, and Emerald Lifestorm. The plan being, I can basically do a load of mortal wounds to my own guys in my first turn. And I'll either not care about them, like the golems, or it'll be stuff I can heal up. So the Epitome can get damaged by the Feign or by the spell, and then cast the healing spell on herself. Like Glutos can take damage and then use heroic action to heal up. But that's the plan. And the general if I take the Lord of Pain as one of the generals, then I can take the Pain Bringers and the Twin Souls as battle line. The Twin Souls, a little bit of concession. I've said this before. It's mainly because they look really cool. When it comes to an event, I have more Pain Bringers, so I can just run Pain Bringers instead. It could be like a unit of 10, unit of 5. It could be 3 units of 5. We'll see. There's some flex. But yeah, he's super cool. I like him. And then talking about the Pain Bringers, it's like all of the corks. All of the corks. So yeah, these guys are not all completely assembled, just because some of the shields and stuff are in the way. But the idea is there. They're really cool sculpts. They're really fun. I spent a lot of time making sure I was cleaning them nicely. Some of them, like I said, have been put in sub-assemblies just where it's a little bit easier for me to get to the different points of armor. So this guy's got his... That's not his shield. This is his shield. That's his shield. These guys together. And then the champion is like this, because I don't want to end up trying to paint the back of the cloak with his legs on. Like, I spent that little bit of extra time now, is the plan. So I have to spend less time when it comes to getting it right, doing the actual paint job. That's the plan. So I'm sticking with it. So let's put these guys back down on the side, and the last thing that's being prepped is have some shoulder pads, a head, head and body, head and everything else, and his cloak. This massive billowing cloak. So it's all just been primed, just through the airbrush with Vallejo. What is it exactly? Surface primer black, 74.602. If it matters to you. Yeah, I'll be looking at what I'm doing with Sigvald. I don't want to do him as gaudy gold as like he can be. So I'm gonna do like an almost like pale, pale cold, like whitish gold for the majority of the armor. And then we'll do some sort of darker sort of steel on as accents to it. And I want to do his skin a little bit like, in fact, if I just reference back to it, GW put out, the one community put out a bunch of pictures done by various artists, and one by Sam Lenz was really cool. It was kind of like pale, but like sort of purple undertones. So I want to do a slightly unnatural skin tone for his face. Then I want to do his eyes. This is going to be the tricky bit of the experiment. I want to do his eyes like Caecilius from Doctor Strange. So if you've not seen it, when he makes a deal with Dormammu, the baddie, and basically has this like black and deep purple like glowing around his eyes, and then like cracks into his skin. The cracks might be veins. It's gonna see how I get on with it basically. But yeah, that's the general premise. Make him look a little bit more like on the verge of full demonhood. That's the plan. That's everyone that's built so far. I've got another unit of Painbringers who I've got second hand, so need a bit of need to be stripped. Also got some Slick Blade Seekers just because they look wicked cool. Might have had an accident there. And yeah, I've got more than Miramadesh Painbringers to build, and Twin Souls. And then the plan is with those guys is each box of them is to use a bunch of like Liberators or sequesters, Sequitors. Or more like maybe. Yeah, to basically double up. So I'll make. So I made a unit of Painbringers. That unit will become 2 units. Because I'll make a unit of Twin Souls out of the same kit, out of the same box, and just a bit of hobby like money saving, I guess. You know, I'm not exactly raking it in from any of this. So the plan is, it's basically to make most of the money, so make it go further. And so I've got 2 boxes. So 2 boxes will become a unit each, and then each box has a couple of leftover parts at the end where you might or might not have the champion models. So these Demonettes first, and so that could be like a potential 3rd lot. It's going to be a little bit more conversion maybe in that. Let's just zoom in this a little bit. Let's see where she is. There we go. It's a little bit closer. So just doing. There we go. Just doing a bit more zenithal on these guys, just to make it a little bit easier to pick out details. And I don't know if I'm just assuming that everyone does this these days, right? Need some more. Need a bit more flow improvement. A bit of a mix. But I don't know if I just assume that everyone now just zenithals their models before they start. So you prime them black, then you go over like a gradient with grey to white, with the white be like the most extreme, almost directly above the model, and just helps you pick out like the areas of light and shadow as it would be from just like a light source above. There we go. What are we doing? Okay, cool. So just, like I said, get these greys on from an angle. Obviously, some of the stuff's gonna stay away from it. So basically, it's all the things that are gonna most be in shadow. So I'm just using my like unbranded airbrush for this stuff. It doesn't have to be super accurate. Just to hi Forza. Yes, good. I've been doing a lot of prep stuff this week and today. So most of my morning was doing like a deep clean and a fix of my Sotar, so my detail airbrush, in advance for starting painting. I almost got to the point where I was gonna send it off for someone to do, but I was like the turnaround time was the thing that clinched it, I think, because I'd have to have waited like 2 weeks probably to get it back, and I was like, no, I don't have time for that. So I doubled down. I took everything apart, and I fixed it as best I could, and then it's been running really smoothly, probably smoother than it has been in a long while. So this is just the start of getting actual paint on models. Can hear my puppies in the hallway next to the office here, chasing around a ball. Hopefully you guys can't hear it too much. I was super excited. I was saying to you, like, my local AoS players, like in our like club chat, I was like, I'm really excited to start playing these guys again. Oh. Yeah, you did, what was the... So I'm just... You're watching... Well, you're not watching because you're away. Yeah, I'm just doing just Zenithal priming. Basically, I primed up in black last night. We had like a storm kind of half brewing, and where I am, that means that the phone lines and like internet connections start to look ropey. Basically, if there's a storm in here. So yeah, I'm basically just doing a top up of what I started yesterday to get everything Zenithals ready for some real paint. That sucks though with your D&D game, right? I am waiting to find out what we're doing this week. A bunch of people. What's rubbish, Eric? Yeah, I'm waiting to hear from my D&D group because there's a bunch of people clashing this week, so might actually have the first week of not playing D&D for an age. So that's gonna suck. Although our DM, when there's been clashes before, has been super cool and has run like essentially like side missions and spin-offs. Threshers, 5 tessellators, none die. Whoa. Does hit pretty hard. Does hit pretty hard. Why? Who let you? Who let you get close enough to thresher that many models with Boomy? That seems like a mistake on their part to let you do that, right? Into the world of homebrew. So I definitely don't mind a bit of homebrew. I think we're using like an alternate initiative system. I guess it's homebrew, right? Because it's not. It might actually be in one of the books. I'm not sure. Yeah, but we're doing like you roll after combat, your initiative, and then when combat starts, you basically pre-know who's going where. Yeah, I think the spell system is pretty good, to be fair. Like, obviously, some classes kind of get punished a little bit too hard. Like, it seems rough. It depends on your DM, right? So if you're playing with a DM that lets you have loads of long rests, then fine, just run the normal system. If you're running with a DM where a long rest is like once every month of game time or something, you get a long rest. You're like please, I'm a wizard. Just let me have something other than like my cantrips back. So it's a fine balance, right? I've just started playing a druid. There you go. Just on that first layer. Yeah, I was running. What was I being? I was a paladin. I was a paladin of vengeance, a Goliath paladin of vengeance. And I accidentally made some bargain, some deal with I don't know what we're playing in Ravenloft, and essentially, I picked up a curse item. It tempted me a bit too much. I ended up becoming a dreadlord. Accidents happen. Accidents happen. But yeah, so my replacement character is a werebear. A werebear druid. So like very much like tribally. And we're using the what's the book? There's I'll have to check with my DM. There's a book we're using that's got basically like a level up like tier things for playing people that are on the road to Lichdom, or basically made deals with devils or angels or were creatures, or are were creatures rather, make deals with them. Grim Hollow, that's it, the Grim Hollow books. And yeah, basically you level up your whatever it is. So as you strengthen your pack, or as you do specific things, you can grow more powerful as whatever. So if you're a demon or infernal, then the more souls you're able to mess with and collect, the more you can get out of that. If you're a vampire or a lich, like the further along you are, the more you have access to, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so my DM has allowed me to start as a werebear. So I guess like a very different type of druid. So I've gone for a druid of spores, so I can essentially have this like aura of what they call spores, I guess, of spores and fungus around me. It's essentially like a huge like temporary hit point pool, where I can use a wild shape and go, oh right, I've got like 40 temporary hit points from this, and all my various abilities that are linked to it, which is kind of cool. But yeah, doing a big change to like how you play stuff, like your spell system. It's a little bit more than like, here's an item, or here's some things. What's he doing? He's giving clerics a tenant to follow, or the god will get mad and take powers away. So you level up and get more demanding. Doesn't like healing words or magic missiles. So I kind of like the sound of that, where gods are more like demanding of their followers, their faith. If I'm giving you divine power to cast these things every day, but that's kind of like down to the flavour of your campaign, right? And obviously that's a lot of that is determined by your GM, where you go, oh yeah, the gods are to some extent jealous, petty things, where they go, yeah, you need to earn your rewards. So that's kind of cool. Too complicated. I was watching. What was I watching? I was watching like a YouTube video. It was literally yesterday, where they were saying like, yeah, if your DM says this is X is too complicated or is going to be challenging, it's basically code for they don't want you to play that. And back away, because it's not going to be an easy ride if you argue the toss. But I know I'm really lucky that like the people I do D&D with are I've got like a game we play like infrequently, but it's local. So sometimes in theory, sometimes we play in person. But that's the bunch of like old War Machine players, in fact, and War Gamers. Whereas the one I run, the one I take part in every week is a bunch of LARPers, so live action role players, rather than War Gamers, and it's guys that I've known for like 15, 20 years. So that's really cool. That I know, yeah. Everyone knows each other really well and kind of know what you're going to get into. If someone's upset or is not enjoying it, we're close to friends to discuss it and go, oh yeah, this is a bit not sure about this. So this is Sigvald's cloak. So I'm just bringing it back up. It's probably going to get even lighter. I'm not sure if I'm going down purple or pink yet, but we'll come to it. We'll figure it out. Yeah, any DM says I don't recommend you playing that. Normally is like a warning sign, right? For this isn't necessarily going to be fun for you to play. Like if they don't like it, if you really wanted to play, that's what it was. I was watching a guide on gunslingers. But yeah, like say your DM doesn't like the idea of firearms in his or her world or their world. But you're like, I really want to play a gunslinger. They go, yeah, you can play a gunslinger, but ammunition's gonna be really hard to get by, and you're not gonna be able to get any upgrades to your guns because no one else really knows what it's about, that sort of thing. Like at that point, you're like, oh, we jammed up a bit here. So look. Let's get it going again. Yeah, it sounds like either they've got a very specific idea of what they want to do, and it's not really tallying up with everybody else, or they're kind of stalling for some reason. I don't know. It's hard to tell, right? I know like a fraction of the else. It sounds like there's an awful lot of homebrewing. Like, does this DM actually want to be running D&D? It sounds like they want to be running their own game, which is essentially what you're going to be doing, right? If you joined up, because it's not like here's some tweaks. It's here are huge changes to the way the the D&D 5th ed works, or whichever ed, I guess, right? You're playing. Yeah, it's not like a small tweaks. It's more of a here is just doing his face here. Look at this. What a handsome chap. I just want to get this bit right here. So I've gone for a little bit of, if I zoom in. I love my D&D. Can't stop me talking about D&D. So I've gone a little bit heavier at the, let me get a paintbrush or something. A paintbrush. I've gone a little bit heavier here around his eyes and top. And this is what I was saying is we were picking up all these raised areas. You can see from his cheekbones, very defined, such as stay darker. And the plan is, like I said, is to do those eye sections. So I've left them like that on purpose. I can't put my paintbrush back in the pot. To do like Caecilius. So yeah, if you've not seen Doctor Strange, Google Doctor Strange Caecilius or Doctor Strange bad guy's eyes, and you'll see exactly what I'm aiming for, which is going to be this like a black and purple mix, basically. Let's move things away a little bit. Yeah, this is that mix to try and go for like a really unnatural look for him. Do more than I would normally on the shield because it's the mirror shield. Again, I'm not like super certain on how I'll approach this, but let's pick out these I like how much detail you can see when you're doing this. How much it picks out. you're like, well, if you do this now, it just makes the rest of the process a bit easier, a bit nicer. So this is I'm just doing the grey at the moment, but Enforcer, yeah, it does sound a little bit like you might have had a blessing in the fact that you aren't going. Like, I could be wrong. You could be wrong, right? We could both be wrong here. The DM could be an absolute genius that just wants to do their own thing and introduce things how they see, and will end up being a super fun, super cool campaign. But you've got to work with your players, right? Just dropping kitchen towel all over the place. Yeah, there's got to be give and take, right? You can't just be like, yeah, you can't play this, you can't play this. Help your players out a little bit. So I'm just picking out these back sections. This is going to be like a bit of a weird section because, in theory, like a lot of this shouldn't be picking up light. It's going to be directly under the top cloak. Sigvald, the kind of douche that wears two cloaks. Do you have two? Or is it three? It's just two, right? Like, why wear one cloak in battle when you can represent with two, darling? I was watching one of the lore channels talk about how his story is really like unique. It's kind of cool. Yeah, that he's got all this way to be marred. Yeah, don't mess with. Do not mess with him. So, just to give you, like, you can kind of see there. I think. Zoom in a little bit. You can see here, like, how much extra detail you can see. Like, you can see the natural shadows and the lines. This is just the grey, so you can, some of these models you can just do it as that and be like, I'm done. Some of them obviously you can do a little bit more on. There's white still to come, for instance, for Sigvald. I'm just going to put him out of the way. Cloak out of the way. His head and his shoulder pads. I've done his shoulder pads separately just because I think I wasn't certain of the choice for them, so I was like, well, if I do it out of the way now, then I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to make the mistake and go, I should have done them out separate. So there's the epitome. Let's go a bit more on the epitome. We'll do just around these coils. Yeah, we're going to come back in a second, I think, and do a bit of. Here come my pups. Hear them scrabbling to get outside. That's that, and it's just in the Myrmidesh Painbringers to do. I say just the Myrmidesh Painbringers to do for right now. There's a lot more models to build. So we'll see how this goes in a minute. We've got various parts for some of them, as I said, where it's just makes it a little bit easier. So we'll start with the boss, I guess. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun building these guys this week. What are we doing? Fine. Yeah, they've been a lot of fun to build, just to see how detailed the sculpts are, how cool the things are, and obviously, as I've been building these guys, I've been thinking about their counterpart unit, and thinking about the conversions. So the conversions are going to be, I think, these models, the like the unit leaders, the champions, or what have you. I know the Twin Soul one is the Ego Pomp. Not sure what this one is. Have a little bit more like cloth, a little bit more like a flair to them, where they've got like, you know, sashes and stuff. So the plan is to get a couple of Secretors, Stormcast Secretors, and those will be when I build the second units with the spare parts. That's the plan. Is the Secretors, because they've got that extra flash already, will be basically the champions, and then the Liberators, I think, are the ones I'm getting. So thanks, Adam, if you watch this, buddy. I appreciate delving into your Mortal Realms pile. He's having a look, see what he can do for me there. And but between a little bit of eBaying and a little bit of handy hobby friends, I should be able to get a good chunk of extra models out of what I bought, which is cool. There you go. That's the first. Is the this DM we're talking about? Is it someone you know, or is it someone you've met because you're looking for games? What's the state of play? You know, are they someone you meet? You're going to see at work every day? Give me some background. This is like agony aunt for role players and war gamers, right? My DM wants to homebrew the world. What do I do? What I recommend is so you've been looking for a gaming group for ages as well. That's got to come into it a bit, like. Hello, puppies. Our Springer Spaniels are 4 months.
Maybe nearly 5 now.
Nearly 5 months old. Their energy is real. The energy is real. They're super lovely. We're getting there with a bunch of stuff. Oh, they're causing an avalanche under my desk.
Come on.
The wife is removing them.
Oh. Come on.
Got something. I don't know what he's got. So yeah, they're lovely.
Come here.
I put a picture in was it the AoS coaches Discord. It's got like a separate pet section. I'm working on my Discord at the moment, so hopefully that'll be actually ready to go shortly, where I can basically have people come and look at the games, just chat, ask questions for the streams, stuff like that. Did a bunch of work on it the other day and then promptly deleted my notes by accident. For someone that worked in IT and has like 2 IT degrees, don't judge me. Mistakes are made. You are in a spot, aren't you? Like, can you shut the door, my love?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get them in the kitchen.
There's some wrangling of hounds going on. Yeah, are you all about playing physical games? Is that like part of the lure of it? Would you be happy with playing an online game? Because if you're happy playing an online game, then just from being a part of like some Critical Role like pages and stuff, I think there's a lot out there. You obviously and Twitter as well for. And you could you could probably find an online game certainly in most time zones, even if it's not necessarily in your city. Like it's great if it is in your city where your friendships with your party and like who you play with can actually become real friendships where you go and do other things. Play different games together, go to the movies, go to pubs, whatever. If you don't mind doing the online thing, I know a bit wary of committing to play with someone where you think there might be a little bit too much control, or just be like really honest with them and say like, okay, so you've not played with a DM that wants this level of control, but you want to give it a go, and say like, yeah, do you mind if I come and have a try? Because you might go along and go, this is super fun and super cool. So yeah, don't like write it off just because it's different and not the usual rules you'd expect. Because yeah, you might end up finding like some amazing friends and really enjoy it, and it might be that after a couple of sessions they go, yeah, that's not super worked out, let's do more standardized stuff. They might really enjoy it. They might be doing it from like a game dev point of view. I'd be like, yeah, this is super fun for me. So if you feel brave enough, because you are putting yourself out there, right? I know it's only like a D&D group or a gaming group, but if you feel like you're up for it, give it a bash. Go and take the plunge. Go, yeah, I'll try it. Give it a couple of sessions, and then report back in. Right? You can always. That's it. It's just Dungeons and Dragons, right? It's just, and especially if you're not enjoying it, then it's not going to matter if you want to go, yeah, it's not for me. Just be honest with people about it. And say like, yeah, I'll give it a go. Seems like any game system you play, right? We've had one of our local gamers has been playing a load of War Machine with us. He's done an event with us as well, but I'm not sure I think he's not super sold on the game, even though he's like bought a load of models, painted them, and stuff like that. So I'm not sure what it is he's not enjoying. Like, talk to people. He's often you can figure it out. I really should be should be wearing gloves. I've got new gloves for this somewhere. Fatal somewhere in the house. Oh, right, yeah, okay, yes, you're getting games in with like established friends. That makes me even more go on, just have a go. Take the jump and go, well, and you can always afterwards. Yeah, you can always go, yeah, it's not for me, and you haven't lost your gaming group. You haven't lost like anything there. Look how cool these models are. It might be like a tempo thing as well in how they've written their is it guys here? Okay, it might be that he's got like a specific plan of how he wants his game to run, and part of that is based on the tempo and the speed. If he's not the sort of DM that wants you having long rest every session, then that's something to keep in mind, because it could just be that he's gone discouraging spellcasters because he doesn't want to have like a party where you're doing X, Y, and Z, and then everyone's like, oh, out of spells again. Can we rest? And he's like, no, you're on a time limit, which could be interesting. Like I'm currently in that position where most of the party I'm in, there's 2 of us actually need long rests, and like the barbarian kind of does, but also doesn't have to rely on himself raging to get what he wants done. Just mix up some more grey. I'm just using, I should say, what is it? Just cold grey from Vallejo Air is the grey of choice here. If I can get it coming out. Come now. Do a quick clean, just the needle. That's the thing, right? If you're looking at it and going, this could be really cool and fun, but I'm a little bit concerned or worried about this one aspect or 1 or 2 bits, then it's worth going for. If you're looking at it and going, this looks like it's like unnecessarily restrictive or annoying, like you said, then that kind of makes you go, maybe it isn't the group for you, right? But you don't even really know by going. But it's a good bit of someone's time, right? An effort to do that sort of thing. So I totally respect someone to go, this isn't for me. I'm going to skip. Thanks for the offer. And again, just be cool about it. Just like there's no need for anyone to be upset. And I imagine if the D&D is like full on, if the DM, the GM, DM, do people call it GMs or DMs these days? You kids these days, you tell me. No one's got. There's no reason to be upset about it. Like for either party, if it's not working out, you just go, no, it's not working out, or go thanks but no thanks. So I'm nearly through this section of models. So what I got next is actual painting, like actual putting the colour scheme on models. So the colour scheme I'm looking at is pinks, purples, and then like a turquoise or cyan, turquoise or teal, I guess. Yeah, I get you. Are you there to play his game rather than play D&D? That's my like kind of worry about it. Is, are you there to play his game and you'll be supporting roles in his story, or or you're gonna actually play D&D? Because that matters. Like, I wouldn't be like, I'm gonna spend X amount of hours a week doing D&D, but I can only play it like exactly to your parameters. That seems a bit rough. If you're putting time into games, like any games, you've got to enjoy them. Like, I think sometimes people forget. Like, people that will get, you see them all over the internet in various groups of games that they no longer play. They're still in all the chat groups, and they're like, oh no, this game's crap. Or the game's dying or dead. And you're like, just step away. If that's what your opinion is right now, just chill out, step away. Because obviously you're not enjoying it right now. And come back when you're ready to look at it again. Because no point in flogging yourself, flogging a dead horse, right? If you aren't enjoying the game, don't play it. If it's a game you've enjoyed for like donkey's years, all your friends play it, and you've fallen out of love with it, take a break. You're basically going to play other games with you. Yeah. I did LARP for like 25 years, and I stopped mainly because of family life stuff. Yeah, I have to spend time looking after kids instead of planning the downfall of empires. And yeah, I still roleplay with a bunch of my old group, so I get to see everyone still. This is cool. There we go. Doopy doopy doo. Party on, Wayne. Party on, Garth. These guys are cool. Yeah, these are super sweet models. So that's the done with the grey. If ever you want to work out like a hobby area, can you hear that? Get a sink. Oh, like I've never had a sink in my hobby room until the house I live in now. Oh my god, it's good. It's a glorious thing to behold. Like just be able to go, oh yeah, I can go wash out my my airbrush, wash my brushes, job done. Just like it. It's such a lifesaver. So all the grey's done. Going to put the Myrmidash pain bringers to the side. They're all going on the draining board. And we're just going to do some layer model layer over the top. So this will be like the extreme, like almost top down, which will be interesting to see on the camera because yeah, it might be that the camera doesn't look top down, but I'll be doing. The model is there. I'll be spraying. Boop, boop. That's the plan, and it's just like for those extreme parts where you're going to catch like the most light on the model. If a Xenophore isn't your thing, you've not done a lot of it. So we're going to mix up. And who do I do first? Let's get some models to the side, like ready to move. So we'll do the epitome and all the pain. And then Sigvald, and then we go. By the time we've done that, all these paintbringers will be dry because the wonders of airbrushing. So one of like the coolest thing about airbrushing is how much time it saves you by being able to go, oh yeah, I've like painted these two models, so now everything I did before is dry. It does make your life. Ooh, I put a lot of white in there. That might have been a bit too much white. Well, worst comes to worst. I've wasted some white. But yeah, just gonna mix this up. The good thing about using the Vallejo stuff, so I've got some GW model paints, and I've got I guess more Priority Press stuff, P3 paints. But yeah, the Vallejo stuff, just that it's ready to go. You don't need to mess around too much. That's fine. Yeah, you stick it in, put a bit of flow improver in, just to make sure it's just to give it like a little bit of a longer. Longer life in the brush, basically. So this is, like I said, the white is like the extreme, so we're almost going straight up from the model. So we're catching a hair, like a claw, a tail, and these horns on the face, basically. I'll try and get a little bit of artificial amount on her thigh. Irony. Yep. She's done. I'll start to move everything across because it's going to just be drying for a bit. Yeah, I need to work out what I'm going to do next. I want to be... which way is she going? She's like... I need to look at a picture of this. This is the Contorted Epitome. So the... So she's kind of like this. So I need to be spraying from this angle. Yeah, she's kind of like bending backwards. Yeah, I've still got models to paint to build. I've still got my first Keeper of Secrets. I've still got Glutos. I've got a unit of Paintbringers to strip. I've got other units to build. And then come Monday, Monday's my club night. So back at club. I had a couple of weeks off. We've just been like home, making sure I'm helping look after the wife. She's been hospital. Yeah, the plan is to go along. I'm going to give a War Machine this week, so I've got an event on the weekend, so I want a bit of practice with the lists I'm playing. Hopefully the week afterwards, look at this, I just love it. Hopefully the week afterwards I'll actually have some Slaanesh stuff to put on the table, which is potentially another clean, which is potentially play at home. That'd be cool. That'd be pretty nice actually. If I got enough of these guys ready, so the first game in the home setup would be with my Slaanesh. That'd be sweet. But we'll see. But yeah, so but the point is, yeah, next week is will be at Hobby Club. I will be picking up hopefully a bunch of Stormcasts for the conversions for the Twin Souls, and the extra Twin Souls, and the extra Painbringers. I will be getting some Chaos Spawn parts. So I've got a creature caster, like demon, that I've had for ages. I bought it because it was cheap on eBay 1 week. I saw it on eBay and I was like, that was really cool. At the time I was looking at 40k. And I was like, yeah, these guys she could definitely be like, you know, a demon prince of X, Y, or Z. You know, just do a little bit of modelling as appropriate. So I got her, but instead she's going to be a second Keeper of Secrets. So I got an actual Keeper of Secrets, like a standard, the current range Keeper of Secrets, I should say. It's not the old cow that I used to have. I think I actually had a Keeper of Secrets back when they were like awful. How long ago it was when I played Warhammer. I put a little bit more in the centre there than it has the right to. Just artificial, just because that's where it's going to work out the summons. So yeah, so I'm going to get a couple of claws, basically, like the pincer. Not sure if you've seen. I'll put it back away now. I put it in the cupboard, otherwise I would show you. But yeah, the Chaos Spawn's got a couple of like full-on crabby claws. So I'm going to basically just use those to attach onto this figure, so it looks a little bit more traditional Keeper Secrecy. It's got the right claws. So look at that. Like, so they have like the detail where it's picking out those details ready for actual painting, which is nice. So yeah, so Monday, crab claws for my second Keeper of Secrets. Stormcasts for... That's just the dagger from the Lord of Pain. Stormcasts for the Painbringers / Twin Souls. Is that everything I'm getting? Oh, and oh yeah, that's not everything I'm getting. And 10 more demonettes, which takes me to 30 demonettes, which I think is the magic number I want for my summoning pool. Like, I guess I might have games where I want 60, but well, a little bit splattery there, but I can live with it. You know, with Speckle, where we've got the mix is a little bit too thick. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to get like a couple of the chariots, some seekers, a infernal and rapturous, and then yeah, 10 more DMX, taking my total to 30. I think that's going to be mostly done. I still need to buy a Fane. I ummed and ahed. I don't know if anyone has seen. I put up some posts and like pictures. I ummed and ahed about the 3D printed one, but like I'm close enough to Warhammer World, like geographically, that, and I'm gonna want to play there at some point. And what's the point in me basically paying like 20-25 quid for a 3D print when I'm gonna have to also get the stock one? Here we go. There it is. Lord of Pain. One of my generals. So I'll be playing in Lurid Haze. So I'll have 3 generals. So I think the generals will be that lovely being, the Lord of Pain. And then Glutos and Sigvold will be secondary extra generals, basically. Oh, this needs a mix. Let's put a bit more flow improvement. A bit more water. So yeah, that's basically, yeah, next Monday will be me nearly entirely sorted for what I need. I've got the endless spells already. I had them like left over for when I play Siege. So I just need to get the airbrush out with them one night and do a little bit of a change to them. Which shouldn't be too bad. It should be like quite an easy job to do. Cloak, obviously the underside of the cloak isn't getting much light, so it's not going to get anything beyond like the primer on it. And then obviously got shoulder pads. Still coming out a bit speckly. So when earlier I said I put too much white in, this is the result. I've messed with my mix because I put too much just raw paint in. But this is using like the unbranded, like the standard airbrush. This is the one that I got with my compressor kit. So if you've got into airbrushing, don't expect the greatest things from your the brush that comes free with your compressor kit. But also, like, don't write it off. Like, all of this stuff, all of my all my Zenithal stuff pretty much gets done with this brush, this airbrush. It's perfectly enough. Like, you know, that's... Whoop. Hello. Let's try not to knock my camera over. But yeah, it's... Have I knocked my camera or have I knocked my... I'll find out in a second. Yeah, it's perfectly doable. Perfectly good enough to do a lot of what you want to do. So don't worry about it. Don't just not use it because it's not got, you know, Badger or Iwater written on it. Like, I love my Sotar. My Sotar is like my brush for minis. Absolutely. But also, I don't want to like fill up the cup and, you know, and get primer on, you know, 100 models with my Sotar, because every time you use it, you've got to clean it. Every time you use it, you've got to clean it more. So, yeah, I wouldn't want to like make it harder on myself, basically. And I'm going to do the same again as we did earlier, where I do a little bit safer. So this should, or it has. As you can see, they really have got like a lot of those details. We've still got the jawbones in shadow, like the top of the face is now in light. Same as the horns, same as the hair. It is good to go. Seagull looking good. I'm really looking forward to painting him. If you haven't checked it out, check out the Warhammer community like article when they asked various people to paint him. There's one of the paint jobs I looked at and I was like, why is that like amongst these other paint jobs? I was a little bit confused, I won't lie. But mostly they were really cool. I'm certainly taking like a little bit of inspiration from check who it is before I yeah, the Sam Lens one. Yeah, he's just like, so his armor's like dark instead of light. I really like dark steel sort of this color, which I think I'm gonna stay away from. I think I'm gonna carry on with like the gold, but as I said, we'll do this this lighter gold. There's so much to get on this model. Thanks for joining this video. Yeah, good luck with the rest of your work day. I start. Well, once I've done this, I'll be winding down. 'Cause it's gonna be time to me to go back to the other job, which is the kids. School will end. I'll need to entertain kids and puppies alike for a couple hours. If I got time later on, I'm hoping I'll do a bit more painting this evening. Such is the plan. That'd be cool if I can. Get a bit of a catch up on the go. But like the detail in that armor is like fantastic. We're just gonna do almost like the non-metallic metal sort of sheen on the sword. And just a little bit of extra light onto the shield because it's a mirror. That's not everyone done. That's Sigvald. Like, yeah, the detail in the armor, like how nice the sculpt is. It's pretty impressive. Like, cannot lie. Cannot lie. I'm a little bit like, wow, these guys. I did make the right choice. Like, I'm 100% behind. I've made the choice for this army based on the aesthetics. Like, I think New Slaanesh is really cool. But New Slaanesh is really cool because it's got these ridiculously cool minis to pick from. Like, you've got Pluto, who is obviously this crazy cool like centerpiece sculpt. Really like, yeah, I'm gonna have this Xerxes type hero being sort of lumbering forward, being dragged in by his entourage, and then yeah, things like these. Obviously, you got, so these are Myrmidesh Painbringers, right? So I'm assuming part of that is a reference to Myrmidons. So if you want to get deep and look at things like ancient Greece and stuff, the Myrmidons were, yeah, I used to love that sort of thing. But if you look at things like Troy, so Achilles has the Myrmidons with him, but in the books, in like the Iliad, I think it's in the Iliad and the Odyssey, they're a lot more supernatural. They're a lot more like, these were silent, like, warriors, perfect warriors, but silent. And they're Myrmidons because I think they were. I might have got this wrong. This might be something I'm repeating that I've heard and I've gone, that sounds cool. Or it might be in a role-playing game version of them. But they were basically like insects that were made into men, and that's why they fight in perfect, absolute union with each other, stuff like that. So Myrmidesh, Myrmidons, like, definitely, like, the look wise, you can see it, right? Like in the helmets and stuff and the shields. This guy's shield is like that. So just the top bit. Not spend too much time on these. But like, I just love how they look. If you're watching this is like, we're on week 2, right? We're on the start of week 2, and I'm going to say I love these models, I think, a lot. There might be a time that I say I hate these models, where I'm like, I'm doing my 30th elite infantry guy, Why is this there? Hating. But like it is, I'll be limited the whole time. Yeah, we're nearly done on these guys, which is nice. A bit of turn around. So the next unit of these ones are going to be built with as the Twin Souls. And like I said, I'm not 100% certain how, by the time an event comes around, once I've like put them on the table a few times, and I definitely should make the use of some tabletop simulator time before I go too deep into like painting. I know I want to have this core of these Myrmidesh. I know that, but I don't know if I can sacrifice like points and staying power to have the second type, the Twin Souls. So before I start painting the Twin Souls, I should definitely bust out some tabletop simulator and see, help me make that decision. Because obviously I don't want to spend all that time painting them if I need to be painting other stuff. Some things I have got in won't have to be painted straight away. Like it's more of a these will have a place in some future army, or it's nice to have the option. Like so, 100% will I think need to paint 2 keepers, 30 demonettes, but like beyond that for the summoning pool, I might have like a bit of flexibility there to go, well, I don't have to paint these guys. Some of these things won't ever see the table. Look at that. Like the poses and stuff on these guys is terrific. Yeah, looking forward to building the second lot. This is going to be a little bit more extreme. You can't get on your side because there's a click behind you. And the last one, which is the champion. Not sure what music we've cycled onto for the stream, but it sure is something. But yeah, we're nearly done for the afternoon, so I'm not gonna faff around with it now. It's too late, I think. I'll be able to. This guy is done. Calling it Myrmidesh Painbringer hero. I should check the name because yeah, obviously it's not going to be an ego pomp. This unit is an ego pomp. Look at this. This is all dry already. It's a bit of a mess, but I'm fine with it. So yeah, that's everyone with their whites as well. So next stage is actual painting for these guys, which is nice. Just gonna clean out the brush. If you're like airbrush curious, if you're like, it looks too much hard work or it looks too complicated, it's not complicated. That's for sure. It's not complicated. If someone tells you, yeah, then they probably want to have their models look nicer than yours with less effort, because it's less effort to get some really nice results. Yeah, don't listen to anyone telling you it's hard work. The cleaning and the maintenance is the only thing that's tricky, and obviously, like, using it, you're learning to paint it is the same as any new skill for painting, right? If you picked up your paintbrush and went, I'm going to paint non-metallic metal this afternoon, yeah, might take you a little while to get there, which is to be understandable, right? But yeah, it's definitely not something that's super tricky to get hold of. I'd always say buy like a kit, or try one of your friends if you can, but buy a kit like with a compressor and an unbranded airbrush. Try it first, see if it's for you. If after a couple of weeks or a month it's still going, you're keeping it clean, you're keeping it working, you're using it, then look at upgrading, buy one. I think I spent like best part of 6 months using like my basic brush that I had before I got like a Sotar, like a proper badger, and I probably need a second good one just for if the badger does need work, so I can always just click over. But yeah, it's fun. So yeah, so there we go. We've got everything primed. So it's Contorted Epitome, Sigvald, Lord of Pain, and the first unit of Mirrordish Paintbringers all ready for actual painting. I need to make a list of materials to get for my base in. I need to start building some more stuff. But hopefully, once that's done, we'll start seeing quite a quick transition between getting stuff painted on the table, which would be cool. I'm excited to get them on tables. So thanks for watching. Don't forget you can support me and show me some love by doing anything to feed the social media gods. So like, comment, subscribe, follow, whatever. there's like a million ways, isn't it? Yeah. Hit the bells, subscribe, follow, share, whatever. Hopefully it's enjoyable, and I'll see you later. Hopefully tonight. But it's Tuesday. It's Wednesday tonight. So yeah, hopefully we'll get some painting on tonight. We'll see how it goes. If not, then I'll see you in a couple of days' time. Good afternoon. Have a good day. Bye bye.